Hello and welcome to M.P.C Learning channel. I'm very pleased to announce the starting of Python programming journey. In these lectures, we learn how to build an algorithm flowchart and also how to write Python code. So in the lecture 0, I will talk about the content that we will explain. There is many chapters that we will handle and we'll see it after. Then I will talk also about the objectives and motivations of these lectures. So go to the content. I should mention that these lectures will be in two versions, in French and also in English version. So there is the same content with one video with French and other with English, using English language with the same content. So here in the content, in the first chapter, we'll talk about the numbering system and machine code. So the binary and the binary base system, and also the base of 10, how to convert or to pass from binary to base 10, and also the octet, the transcode, and how the information is stored in the machine. Here in the chapter 2, we'll tackle the algorithm concept, so how a program in general, how a program works, the basic element of an algorithm. Basically, there are three main phases in all algorithm or all program: the input, data, place, hypothesis, and the main or core program, code core, and the phase 3 is the output, the result. In the chapter 3, we'll start the Python programming. So after we built a flowchart algorithm that describe a logical process of how the steps should works together step by step in order to obtain the result in a logical way. So these steps will after translate to a programming language like Python, MATLAB, C++, or C, and after that we can use machine to run this code or script. So in this chapter, we'll see the general mathematical operation, logical and mathematical operation, the conditional and loops also. So there is four videos, one for mathematical operation, two for logical statement, and the conditional statement, and after that loops. In the chapter 4, we'll talk about list and array metrics, and after dictionaries, tuples, sets and files, strings, functions, here in French, functions, files, numerical engineering. So this content is adopted and is modified to be arranged to the CPG schools or program. So these lectures will be divided into sub-parties or sub-group. The first subgroup will be cover the first four chapter 1 to 4, After that, we'll focus on the exercises to be familiar with these with different how to build algorithm, how to analyze a given problem, how to draw a flow chart, and also how to use basic statements in Python. After that, we'll focus on the remaining chapters from dictionary to numerical engineering. Here in numerical engineering, we'll explain or we'll see the most used engineering problems, the main engineering problems in different areas: mechanics engineering, electrical engineering, and also in other fields. And from a given problem, analyze this situation. We first built the flowcharts algorithm, and after that, using Python to programming and write a script. So the reading list references here, I use some French books and courses, lectures, and also I use most of the references or reading lists are in English. So I will start by learning Python, apprendre programmer avec Python, by Gerard Sweeney. And after, I use also these lectures pour informatique de M.P.C. And here some books, English books: Introduction to Python for Science and Engineering, Introduction to Python Programming by Vina, Python Basics, a practical introduction to Python 3. There is another book, Real Python, and Python Basics, a self-teaching introduction by Mercury Learning Editor. And also there is this book, Introduction to Computation and Programming Using Python. So from these books, and these books, I should emphasize that these books are just introduction, useful introduction, deep introduction that handle multi parts of Python, how to programming using Python, and also the idea and the algorithm to programming a problem or a statement, how to resolve a problem, and programming and build a flowchart, and also programming. But these books are basically using Python programming. So what are our objectives and motivations of these lectures? So we start by objectives. So there are three main objectives: be able to analyze the problem, so from a given statement, exercises, or we face to a problem that we should program or write should build a programming code or write a script, like in the daily engineering field, during PhD, also in programming, gaming, in programming for programming interface, and so on. So we should first analyze the problem and understand the idea and what is the output of the problem. Then we move to build the algorithm flowchart. So here there is just a description, this analysis of the problem, we describe all these constraints, these requirements by a flow chart. Starts by here by beginning starts, set the inputs and hypothesis. Here, then we maybe user inputs. Here maybe constant user inputs. After that, we have some calculation. So calculation here, and after this we have some condition, and after that we have here we have output, different output, pre-passed plots or something like that. So here results. So here we have the step 1, step 2, and here step 3. Step 1 is inputs, different inputs. As hypothesis is also inputs. Calculation are the main or running program. We also call program core or program. And here the step 3 is the output or results. Outputs. So basically all programs that we see are composed of 3 main steps. Step 1 inputs, hypothesis. Step 2 main running program, and step 3 is the result or outputs. What is motivations, or what are motivations? Programming or computer programming now are used in different or in all fields of engineering, in all human activities. So all mechanisms now, are composed of 2 things. We have hardware and software. In general, hardware are components, physical components. So physical components include mechanical components, electrical components, and so on. So all physical components are the hardware, and these components are linked together by some other by some links and other components, and these components are controlled and driven by a certain program. So these programs, this is the rule of using computer programming. We should learn some computer programming languages like Python or other languages in order to be able to control these components. Control these components mean that we'll impose some inputs, some constraints, and through this software or program, so through this software will control and running this mechanism. Also this the computer programming are using also to build softwares here, to build interfaces, to build games. That's all of this. We use some scripts in order to run in some statements, some logical statements, and from this combination of logical statements, we get some outputs and the results, and this is the main concept of a programming and programming code. So still last thing here, so diffusion time. So this content or this program or these lectures contains a lot of chapters. Each chapter there is a lot of information, and we should explain very deeply some informations, some content. So for these reasons, we'll make 2 videos, 2 lectures each week. Basically the diffusion time will be in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes if I have free time I will make other videos in order to accelerate the lecture. Thank you and see you soon.